And the forum,
So,
Brian mentioned that he has a upper respiratory infection and was going to join us remotely. So it sounds like a great idea.
We
So
appreciate that.
Yeah, Brian can join us. All right. So, a few minutes late. Welcome everyone. Well, we can start to the final forum. That's what the December LPC meeting. Brian's not there yet, so we can go this way for now. Hey,
hey,
welcome. So the first order of business was to review and approve the minutes from last meeting. I think we had a couple
You
of
got,
sessions.
no, you got
Oh.
November 13th, you
Yeah,
did
we
not
got-
get November 3rd in process.
Okay.
4 and 7-year-olds took priority.
Okay, that's fair. We got a little bit of time on that. That
Totally
sounds,
misplaced priority.
that sounds like that was a good. We support that triage. Community community
I'm
preservation.
I'm
or
thinking the
something.
minutes probably would have been less painful. Less exhausting.
So we have one set of minutes, but
4 and
we're
7, you're probably right.
but we're due for we'll take an IOU
We'll catch
for
you.
the earlier
You-
November one.
Yeah.
Can we get a motion to approve them?
second.
Okay. All in favor?
Right.
Aye. Which I think we can do that on this way.
Yeah.
Related to this, as I get the agenda up, I think it's related to the minute meetings. I don't think any of you mind if we go off. Thank you. Too much out of order. The email. So I went. If you haven't all heard about this, I know Bernadette has and stuff. We're all getting town emails.
Yeah, I got one.
You have to go and get it. All our correspondence, I believe, as of January 1st, has to be through that.
January,
Yeah.
correct.
Yep. It's basically of public record, which everything we formally exchange now is of public record, but it would have been a little more challenging to get. But now we all have our email addresses. Everybody aware of that? Any questions, concerns?
Yes,
Everybody have it, access? Do you have access to it, David?
I haven't figured out how to get back to it. I got to it the first time.
Okay, so everyone's clued in and signed up and in it. Cool. All right, so good. If any problems, let us know. Emily Mitchell and team have done an awesome job about making sure that's available to everybody. All right, I think we can dig right into it if you want.
Excuse me, Christine has an announcement before
Please.
she has to go to a
Yes.
planning board meeting.
Yes, just a couple of quick
Please come on
updates.
down.
Yeah,
Come on down.
For the placeholders for annual town meeting, I did ask administration to put the LCP approval at town meeting on.
Nice.
To reserve that, so we'll probably need to work out some of the details and the public hearing process with the planning board. So I'll sort that out and keep the committee updated on that.
But first step is placeholder. Yeah.
For now, it's a
Okay.
placeholder,
Okay.
so we'll see.
Okay.
But at least it's submitted with administration, they're aware of it, and so that will be a good, that's a good step forward.
That's item G.
Yes.
Nice.
Cool. Okay. Pine Oaks Village 4 was approved yesterday, and next week the Cape Cod Commission is, not next week, but on December 16th, the Cape Cod Commission is evaluating their, the Witchmere redevelopment project. And so I've been asked to solicit comments and provide comments to the commission, which I did last year, which I'll be doing again this year. I'll be getting comments out to them this week. I'll copy everyone just to keep you aware of my planning department's input on that relative to that project. Last year I did find consistencies with both the old LCP and the draft LCP, and some concerns just on coastal resiliency, but it's probably going to be very, very similar. So just to give you an update on that, and there was something else.
I had one piece. This may
provide.
be related to you. I interface with our with Jeff, who's our liaison to the select board,
Mhm.
about getting us on their agenda for just a meet and agree. I mean, we've been doing this for whatever. Yeah, but and actually, it's a great question for you, Christine. I offered dates, and I was thinking just of the timeliness of, the warrant and all.
Mhm.
So I offered 12/8, which that's not gonna happen. I don't think they got bigger fish to fry next week. 12/8, 12/15, 1/5, and 1/12.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that you and I would go, and of course anyone else that's invited, just to be like, here it is,
Mhm.
it's happening.
All right,
Yeah,
great.
so that's those are pending. And then I think the only other timely thing before, which is item F, finalizing, we don't have to finalize it, but we've talked about it, I know, but getting this date for the spring socialization of the LCP in anticipation of town meeting. So it's gonna get on the warrant,
Mhm.
and I think we're gonna have to have a LCP social, so to
Yes.
speak, like.
Well, I think it would be good to have a couple of meetings scheduled and,
okay.
Yeah.
after January,
Okay.
leading up to,
Maybe a
May.
Tuesday night here
Yep.
would be one, and then maybe we do another one.
Mhm.
or do like a coffee and donuts sit down at Cape Roots to say, hey, if
Yeah.
you
Yep.
aren't aware of this, come learn.
Yep, maybe
or
a
at the
Saturday,
community center.
maybe like a Saturday,
Yeah.
like one of these nights, and then the Saturday too.
Sure.
I remember like our visioning session.
Yep.
Town meetings May, so end of March.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I did ask town hall staff and departments. I thank them. I thank the boards that did provide their comments, and I did solicit or request letters of support by the end of January regarding the LCP from boards or department heads. So hopefully I'll send out another set of reminders, but at least just to keep that on everyone's radar as well as we're moving forward, so. Related to that, this week we're also doing our hazard mitigation plan, presentation on
So many
Wednesday.
plans.
And I will be going to the select board on Monday to ask them for us to be able to submit it to, FEMA and MEMA. I need approval from the select board in order to do that, and the Cape Cod Commission has been wonderful. Martha Heavener has done a tremendous job in putting together the plan and facilitating our meetings. The planning team has been working on it for over a year and a half now. So I give a lot of credit to town hall staff and some of the other members of the public at large, like Larry Ballantyne, Chris Menard from the food pantry, or the former director of the food pantry, and some other members of the public. So it's been really great. And that's it.
Any news on your assistant town planner you're advertising for?
Yes, we did fill the position. We've hired Matt Hamilton, who you'll know. Matt has been part of the Channel 18 team and doing videography. So he is transitioning to the planning department. So we're very excited to have him.
Good.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Congratulations.
It is. I will. It's help I
You
sorely
have to go
need,
home
so-
sometime.
So anyway, if anyone has any other questions relative to planning, or we also did start a zoning work group. I asked administration if we could put together a working group. Tony's been very supportive of that, and so I'm hoping to schedule meetings starting either next week or within the next 2 weeks. It'll be at least one representative of the planning board, zoning board of appeals, maybe board of health, conservation, and town hall staff. And if members are interested from this committee, as well as the real estate and open space committee, I think that would be helpful. 3 priorities I have are updating the zoning map, revising the multifamily bylaw, the ADU bylaw, as well as site plan coverage definition.
Well, that's sort of the whole point of the exercise we've been involved in for the last 3 years.
Check off your little box.
So I think the timing of it's good as we're wrapping up with the LCP and just sort of moving into implementation. So yeah, a lot of things going on, lots of interest. Also, the Affordable Housing Trust has expressed interest in being a part of that as well.
Okay.
So
If anybody, encourage you all, anybody who wants to be part of that should be. I mean, you don't need our support, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you should be part of it.
Yeah.
It was primarily focused on the regulatory boards, but I think from real estate and open space and with this committee, I'm assuming after town meeting, this group may dissolve, but I at least wanted to keep members
It
abreast
may
of
not, right?
these
That was part
activities.
of the discussion, right?
Yep.
It may continue on to some of the implementation, right? This
Yeah.
is Brian's thing, so I mean, some of us
Or at
will be
least
off the
part
hook.
of it.
Yeah. People might, you get to leave if you want,
Yes.
but, right, yeah. You would not be kept forcibly, Bernadette.
There may be a rump group that hangs on.
Yes, there may be an implementation group, but, and I would,
When you leaving?
When our work is done, which we were an advisory
Just give me a
committee,
date, 'cause
we
I'll
were.
join, I'll join you.
So I think it's time for new blood and fresh people to.
to that point,
Carry on.
since implementation and use was such a priority, right, and not being put on a shelf, I would advocate pretty strongly. I think that we would love to have a member of the committee on that, just because so much of zoning was a big issue, So I hear you about the regulatory
Not
boards,
working
but
today?
Ed, if you want to be on it,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
take-
not appointed or anything,
Yeah, it's a
so,
working group,
Yeah.
but if you have the energy, we would tremendously
Yeah.
appreciate it,
Speed
being
difficult.
aware of the planning,
Be difficult.
Yeah.
comprehensive
Oh,
plan.
yeah,
Sure.
We want it
it's
to be
always
used,
difficult to
so
say.
that would be
Mhm.
nice to
But
have a
it
rep.
usually
Yep.
lets you in eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe not tonight.
all right, well, I do have to head back to prepare for
Okay,
tonight.
before you leave,
Yep,
we have cookies
Yes,
here,
yes.
and we're
We'll leave you a box.
gonna do
Oh,
the
yes,
cook,
a
and
swap.
we'll leave you a box,
Yes.
but I was
We're
also
more
thinking,
fun,
I
yeah.
think we have way more than we're all gonna be able to split up, and we
Yeah,
could
we'll share
leave
for the 10
one
steps.
one of these plates
Absolutely.
that I brought with some that you could put out for the staff. to
no,
use.
that would
We
be
would love that.
fantastic.
Okay.
Well, I
Yeah, that would be
promised
nice.
Emily some since she opened the door when I texted her because we
Yeah,
were all
yeah.
standing up there with cookies in the rain. So
Yes.
I told her come get
We
some.
will leave you
I'll
cookies.
deliver some to her. I'll bring some down to her.
So,
She might-
okay.
Thank you,
Good.
Barbara.
Of course.
I Bernadette, I
Yeah,
appreciate
you
that.
and
Cool.
Have fun.
All right, thank you.
no one else is here. The two of them are here. They should have cookies.
So, and along those meeting dates that we were banging out, D, E, F, G, I will, get us on the calendar for, in the spring, because we can always take them off, and we might make one of these sessions like a socialization, and then we'll do
Mhm.
something else. But I feel you, Bernadette, as much as we don't want to meet interminably, but we're closer than we've ever been.
I mean, I think we have an endpoint, and I
Yes.
think it would behoove to have a new committee, if they're gonna do a committee that is going to be oversight or
Push and
whatever
shove.
for implementation.
Yeah.
It might be a
Yeah.
nice idea that it has some fresh
Yeah.
blood in it.
I think,
Or a mix, but
the
I
night,
will
the
not.
night at town meeting that it gets adopted,
Yeah.
we all should go out and get drunk.
I don't know about that.
All right, onwards we go. Celebrate. Have an ice cream cone.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, celebrate. All right, so we have B, C, and D, which are all pretty related. The plan came back, all of you have from Sharon, that had, as I understood it, I didn't go through it line for line, but had the Cape Cod Commission kind of revisions in it. So we'll need to, and Sharon specifically pointed out that we need to rank, which I think you started to do. I see there the cultural heritage sections as well as several actions. And just do that a priority. The other thing, maybe it's, before we dig into that, B and C, do Margot and Ed want to tell us about Mike Locke's sort of revisions for D? So as I understood it, because you were both working on that, thank you, that there was maybe he took it back and gave us a new one as an appendix?
He took it back and took out the section
Yeah.
that you were concerned
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
And he said he thinks it's still,
Yeah.
stands alone,
Okay.
even without
Yeah.
that section in it, so.
Right.
So he hasn't changed anything in
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
except he took that part out.
Are we good with that? That
Yeah,
it's
we're
a
good.
standing
The
thing?
the
Yeah.
two parts, the first part was explaining, if you buy a piece of open space and you take it off the tax roll and it's worth, I don't know, $350,000, how de minimis that is You know, he goes through the math to
Yeah.
explain that
Yeah.
literally won't notice it on your tax bill.
Yeah,
And then he goes off on how the tax bill is calculated, and he really got it all wrong. And it, you know, the way he calculated it from 2022 to 2023, our available property tax revenue went up by $10 million, which that was how much the assessed valuation went up. And he just got the calculation wrong. And it really didn't have anything to do with the point he wanted to make about, you know,
but that's out of there.
yeah,
now,
yeah,
right?
it's out
Okay,
there,
all
so,
right.
yeah,
So the version-
you know,
The
it's
version
just,
that I forwarded to you.
Yes, which I shared with
yeah,
everyone else, yes.
is the version that does not have
Okay,
Yeah,
that section.
yeah.
so we will get that to to Sharon about getting that as an appendix, because I think these appendix are useful, everything that adds to the density of it, but also these are, you know, similar to Duncan's, these are invested players that have wanted to share that expertise, and like, sure, let's put it in as the.
We have another member.
You there, Brian?
Yep.
That's great. Addendum.
Now that I'm here.
Cool.
cool,
Thank addendum to log Sharon. Okay.
so,
That's
Okay.
good. All right, so then we're good. We'll get that in, and that'll be part of it. All right, so then.
quickly,
ahead, please.
on that topic, I don't
Yeah.
know if you all saw the article about them setting the new tax rate for the coming year.
The select board?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
select board, it's $5 and change.
Property values are up.
Yeah, but the thing that stunned me when I first was elected as a select board member, the total assessed value of the town was just under $4 billion.
Mm-hmm.
It is now over $10 billion.
Yeah.
I mean,
Whatever it means, you know, I mean, yeah, what is, right, it's so.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. But then eggs are $9, so yeah,
Yeah,
right, I
yeah.
don't know, right, yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
collectively, everybody's property has gone,
Yes.
has more than
yes,
doubled.
Yes, yes, which I think anecdotally, if you look at your own assessment, you're like, well, God, yeah, wow,
Yeah.
okay. But what does that mean? It's
Yeah.
super challenging to, yeah. Okay, so then, we gotta dig into the new draft. Does anyone can roll with it that wants to? I see.
I
Margo,
can't,
you have your-
I
you have your-
can't get online, so.
Okay, but you
so
have your lovely pad
I-
with
what I
ranged
did
things.
What I did this afternoon was I went through to see what was new
Okay.
in the actions, and there were 1, 2, 3,
Would you-
4, 5, 6,
Do you wanna
7,
summarize them
8,
for us? Cause
9,
I
10.
skimmed it, but if you
Yeah.
have an
There were,
amazing.
there
yeah.
was, there were 10 new actions in different sections of the plan, and like I said, I don't have it in front of me, but, the first one was in water resources, and it was advocating that we, put something in place, to, require low impact stormwater treatment, which I think that came from maybe one of, the Conservation Commission's,
Okay.
recommendations.
Which I think maybe the commission picked up, cause my understanding is these were specific recommendations that the
So-
commission
So who are
wanted.
these from?
This is from Sharon.
Sharon sent this out, it was in, we all got a link to it.
Yes,
in-
and it's,
Joyce's
without
email.
poking too much, it's, I think, a preliminary review from the commission. And the commission saying you need these actions.
So it's generated pretty much by the commission?
Yes,
Okay.
so I think
That's
I
fine.
think we have to, our work is to, put them into, go through them, thank you for highlighting them so well. And then just put them in our framework
Mhm.
of the, priority and feasibility. And then
Right.
plug that back. Sharon asked that specifically from
Okay,
us,
so
so,
you've
yeah.
done a preliminary shot at it.
I have.
Yes.
Yeah, and, obviously, the ranking of it, we did that as a team the last time
Yeah.
for everything else,
Yeah,
but,
that's good.
I would think the leads for this would be the Conservation Department, Natural Resources Department, and the Department of Public Works, because this is dealing with, you know, what's required for new development,
Okay.
and, near ponds and wetlands and stuff,
Okay.
so.
For fees, do you mind if we go through them point by point, just to be
Yeah.
efficient here and like,
Yeah.
and get I'm sure we're gonna agree with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Feasibility and
So-
priority, just
Yeah,
tell us.
so I said I thought it had an impact of 3 and a feasibility of 3. That-
Okay.
That's, it's,
That's okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so that would put it in the near term
Okay.
category.
And this is for new actions on stormwater?
Yeah, it's basically that they call it low impact stormwater treatment.
I'm gonna take a picture of your thing as
I
it ends
can-
up being modified and I
yeah,
can send it to Sharon.
Yeah.
CCU, but yes, okay, is
Yeah,
there any,
things like vegetated swales.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those sorts of.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
so that was.
no controversy there,
Okay,
yes.
so that was the only one in the water resources section that's new.
Okay.
In the open space section, there were a couple things. One was a recommendation, I think, that came from the Real Estate and Open Space Committee, about doing the title research for the remaining owners unknown land in town. And this is something that
It's been going on
our,
forever.
our committee has been advocating for this, and we actually had a town meeting vote 2 years ago to, you know, appropriate $500,000 to do this title research, and it still hasn't been done. So, I mean, just nothing has moved, even though we have the money to move it, so.
What's the barrier?
Yeah, I was just
The
about to
barrier,
ask.
I think, is that the assessor's office has to oversee this, and they've been short-staffed.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
so, what they need to do is to, you know, hire or contract with somebody whose exclusive job is to
Yep.
do this. And that the money is there, and it's available to
I
be
do.
used.
I do know they have done a little bit, but they just haven't.
What they did was
gotten
the
it.
sort of the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The stuff that was easy.
Yeah.
But really, the most important stuff is the stuff that's hard.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
I agree
yeah.
with 2 on feasibility. I'm looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Impact?
Yeah.
The imp-
3 or 4?
I would give it a 4, because, you know, this is, in terms of identifying what is the most important land for both affordable housing and resource protection, natural resource protection. I mean, there's some big chunks of land, but the Real Estate and Open Space Committee identified 3 general areas in town where this needs to be done. One is, there's a parcel of about 30 acres right next to Thompson's Field and upgrading of the well fields off of 39. That was priority number 1. Priority number 2 was the sand pit in East Harwich. And priority number 3 is the area north of Cornelius Pond, is part of the Six Ponds
You
area.
convinced me.
Yeah, so,
Mhm.
so I think that that's, you know, I gave it a lower feasibility number simply because it's a lot of work.
Hasn't happened yet?
It's a lot of work.
I think
Yeah.
your numbers are good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right,
It's,
so I can just give you this.
Yes, but you're
Yeah.
leading us, Martha,
And-
thank you.
All right.
We appreciate the leadership, thank you.
Okay, all right, and then there was a second one that, in the open space section, that was, they were recommending identifying parcels for future land acquisition for resource protection, and they list a whole bunch of, you know, criteria for that, like, you know, being in a zone of contribution for a public well, or adjacent to, connected to existing open space, and so forth and so on. That one is a little bit repetitive of something we already had in there, but I don't object to adding it.
Repetition is not
Mm.
bad, yeah,
It
you know.
shows up in more than one place, it
Yeah.
highlights the
Yeah.
importance.
So
Might sink
again,
in.
it would be the Real Estate and Open Space Committee in concert with the Harwich Conservation Trust and the Conservation Department, I think, you know, because they're the ones that really are working on these kinds of issues and who manage the land if town buys it for conservation purposes. So again, I gave it a 4 and a 3 here.
If
on-
it's similar to something we already have, do you know what that other item had for a
Yeah, 4 and 3.
rating? So you've done that homework.
I did that homework. I did. Yeah, yeah. So, I was looking for any guidance I could find. All right, so are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Then, in the community design section, they wanted us to add, there's a thing about, exploring, form-based, zoning, which is, it's basically, an approach to zoning which is really looking at buildings and design versus necessarily use. So that you're regulating to try to encourage mixed use and design that is, compatible with, the village centers. And this was, I think this one, it was focused on, in particular, Harwich Port and Harwich Center. Those were the ones the places that were identified for that.
Is form-based design controversial at all? I've been kind of like observing some of the angst in Hyannis, and I get confused with some of the words.
Yeah.
And whether that's being tossed around, form-based,
In Hyannis, I would say they are not doing form-based.
I was trying to
they're-
understand it, like the
they're-
language gets very cloudy,
They're
I guess,
just-
yeah.
they're doing,
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
this is, form-based zoning is kind of, part of the new urbanist approach to planning and zoning, which is,
Meaning you like the shape, you're trying to create, you're
You're
trying to
trying-
regulate towards the shape, is that a
Yeah.
layman's understanding of it? Or-
yeah.
And how everything sort of works together.
Yeah,
you know.
building materials, setbacks close to the road versus, parking in front and building
Cre-
setback. Trying to emulate the historic design
Got it.
patterns that, we've
Create
had in
areas,
town.
Got it.
create areas that are more
Yeah.
walkable rather than
Yeah,
if you're
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts and you want to go to the hardware store,
Yeah.
you gotta drive out.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
okay, I get it, so,
Um,
yes, all
But
right.
on the Cape, Eastham is sort of leading in revising their zoning code to form-based design
Fascinating to know
principles.
that.
Talk about a deep need, right?
Yeah.
You mean, you really, probably a huge
And
need there, yeah.
It's being led by Harwich's own
Oh, what's his name?
Paul Lag,
Mm.
who's the town planner.
oh, okay, okay. Well,
It's a
that's
big
good.
need there, you hear
Yeah.
that from, I
Yeah.
interface
Yeah.
with a lot of East End
Yeah.
people who talk about a huge need in that community,
Yeah.
just because Six Hall's through it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, right,
There's no
not,
sense
we,
of-
it does
Yeah,
not have
trying
as
to
much
create a
inherent
sense of-
richness as we do,
Yeah.
yeah,
That-
yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't have a really
Village center,
clear
town.
village center.
right,
Yeah.
right, right,
Yeah.
They're there.
Posters like that too with 6A,
Yeah.
just kind of,
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
yeah,
things
They're
that come
hubs,
along
but-
instead
yes, yes.
of high in the center.
So anyway,
Okay,
on
thank you
this,
for explaining that to
on
me,
this,
yes.
on this one, I gave it a 3 for impact and a 2 for feasibility, just because any kind of zoning change is hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very close to a 1 on
Yeah,
that
it's,
one.
Yeah,
we're lucky, we're lucky we gave it a 2.
yeah, I put it in the plan and mitigate category. Okay. All right, so in community facilities, there was an addition about trying to coordinate the installation of infrastructure with other projects, so that you're not digging up the road for the sewer and then having to come back and build sidewalks later, and that kind of thing, so
Mhm.
that seemed like sort of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Who thinks that's bad?
But we
Yeah.
Right.
Novel idea.
I do have a
And,
question on that.
What?
I do have a question on
Yeah.
that. From an engineering standpoint, don't they do that anyway?
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Sometimes, but you'd be amazed at how many times
yeah.
they
Well,
don't do it.
Stuff gets put down
Yeah.
wrong. and-
Novel
Yeah.
idea,
Yeah.
right now, the
not like the real
on
world.
28 in West Harwich,
Yep.
they're getting ready to, MassDOT is going to come through and redo 28, to, redo the road, and put sidewalks in, and bet redo some lighting.
So my
And-
assumption
but-
is no agency collaboration?
No, the water department is all ready to redo the water main, and the town has already approved the
Sewer line.
bond funds to put in a dry sewer pipe
So
in
that's a
anticipation.
So that's an example of it going
Of it
well.
working.
We're
Of it
supposed to
working.
support it, sure.
Of it working, you
Yeah.
know. But occasionally, you know, somebody repaves something, and all of a sudden, you know, the gas pipes that aren't that old all of a sudden start leaking, and
Yeah.
they need to be dug up, or
Yeah.
the state legislature says, well, we're gonna throw a bunch of money into sidewalks around schools.
So it leads to my second
Yeah.
question as far as the feasibility. If it's an existing process or procedure,
Yeah.
the feasibility is gonna be, low?
I think it's actually quite feasible, but what it
Yeah.
requires is coordination
Yeah.
among both town departments and
Mhm.
public
State,
utilities.
county.
You know, so, the example that Ed gave about,
Set a precedent, hopefully.
National Grid and their gas lines. So people have to be talking to each other,
Right.
but it's.
And sometimes the people need to have a memory.
Yeah,
When I was in California in the town, we had approved putting this sewer main for the East Bay Municipal Utilities District through part of the field at our middle school. And then 2 years later, we were all involved in planning school improvements, and everybody said, okay, well, we need a new science building at the middle school, we'll put it right there. And about 3 months into it, all of a sudden, our public works director says, we can't do that. Why? Says, we put that sewer line right there.
I mean,
And it was just.
if we're supposed to put it in, sure, like, I
Yeah.
mean, this is at a coordination at a higher level than us, but like,
Yeah.
okay,
But it's amazing, amazing
You know.
how
sure,
idiot things
so
happen.
I gave that a 3 and a 3.
sure.
So that's, again, in the near-term category. There were 2 other things under community facilities. One was recommending a parking study for Harwich Port and Harwich Center.
Already had
Novel
those.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's not new.
It's in there.
It's not new.
There's
Studying
been
it
2 of them
forever.
in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah. But
two. You probably gave it a 3. I'd say 2.
I get,
just 'cause
on
it's repetitive.
feasibility, you mean? Yeah, 2.
No, I actually,
Don't put a 1.
I
We
just-
also don't have to include it. I mean,
I
if
think
this
do-
is ignorant,
Yeah, it's-
ignorant,
doing the study, I think, is repetitive, so I can't give a higher than a 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Probably 2 and 2.
2 and 2?
Mhm.
do you think it's, David,
That would be general.
should we say, no, we don't want to include it because it's already been done? I mean, this is maybe a shot feedback,
Who's
you
it
know,
coming from?
commission, I
It's
think.
coming from the commission, I don't think we need to.
Which
include it.
commission?
Cape Cod Commission.
Oh,
If it came from some local source, I
I
would say
think-
yes.
I think what Sharon said was that they basically included virtually everything they got in comments. So that, that includes the commission, but it also
Other
includes,
sources.
other sources like.
Because I defer to your expertise. If
Yeah.
it's not useful, I mean, the coordination, sure. But like
Yeah.
if we've already, then let's not undermine our
I
own
think this could have
credibility.
come from the planning board, actually, because I know Duncan
Yes.
Berry has been.
Is there a
very
way to put it,
interested in-
use current parking studies instead of saying new ones?
Or maybe just won't be pushed
Or
in
update.
implementation.
Resurrect.
Update and.
Resurrect the
Update.
study.
Something
One more
along those
time.
lines would be
As
good.
as
Okay.
additional development occurs, update current parking studies.
There you
Okay, all right, and
So
so
we-
we're.
Yeah.
So you need to make a note of that the language of it needs to,
Yeah, yeah.
needs to change.
Then you could probably put it back up to a 3.
Okay, so-
Make it a higher priority.
David's on it. Yep, Brian, thank you.
So what are
You
we,
didn't hear me mumbling?
so what is it then, David?
3 and 3.
3-3, all right,
That's probably where you started.
yeah, that's.
And
was
I've
at-
noted
was at
that
2-3,
I
but
will
that's fine.
include the change in
Okay.
language, yep.
So 3-3, all right, and then, the next one was, focusing or prioritizing, installation of sewers in places where you want to have more high-density housing. Yeah,
I'm not touching that
We're a
one.
different place, but,
I gave that a 4, because I think it's, in terms of impact, we're never gonna have high-density, or, you know, concentrated, housing
Pine
unless,
Oaks 4
unless
is.
we have
and
the
we don't have
services
this
to
already,
support
we
it.
don't have this already?
It's, not as a specific action item, no. I mean, we've certainly talked about it throughout the plan.
But isn't it part of,
Could
in
we-
the wastewater plan?
It's, I think it's somewhere else in the plan, to tell you the truth, but they wanted it in this community facilities section.
Could we soften the language, because we understand that that is complex and, you know, there's not universal, I mean, you know, could you say consider, or like,
I don't remember exactly what it does say, so
I can look
if you can look.
What's this?
So,
This, it's basically a recommendation of, you know, prioritizing
there
areas
was,
where you want to encourage more
Right.
density of housing.
Yeah.
there is language
By
to
having
that
sewer.
effect.
there is.
It may not be a recommendation though, and I think the wording has to be handled carefully because what has to come, what has to, let me finish. What has to come first is the town has to set its housing priorities. And those are gonna be higher density in some places than some people want. But once the town has set them, then yes, it would be better for the sewer to be provided. So that makes it a 4, but it's gotta be worded in a way that we don't just say high density housing, cause that's gonna scare a lot of people. But
Yeah,
housing, the sewer in support of the housing priorities.
It's not letting me on the internet here, to the
yeah,
same
see,
problem
this
with
is,
yours.
this
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
problem that I had
What,
too.
there
I
was
think-
something,
I think, David, I think it is, we're
I
really
thought
at a
we had it.
disadvantage here because we can't look at it, but I think it does basically say what you're saying. It, you know, it's, I think what this is intended to do is to say, that when we're doing you know, there's another recommendation in there about, you know,
coordinating
coordinating
wastewater with
wastewater
other,
with other.
yeah.
Towns, we talked about that.
No,
We're
well,
not
not
doing- no.
other towns, but
I'm
other,
getting in maybe, let's see.
With other
but
goals,
with other goals,
Yeah.
not just
yeah.
clean water.
Well,
Yeah.
that's,
Well,
that's,
not
I
just
might be
sewer, I
on-
mean, have to look at all the utilities,
Yeah,
roads, I mean, all the infrastructure
No,
for
but the
high density.
yeah.
the sewer is a pretty key one, and
Yeah.
it should be in support of the town's land
Okay.
use policy.
I did,
So that I agree with, however it
I
gets
did
worded.
get online.
So, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, you can keep going and I can give us the
If you
direct.
can- Yeah, if you
Yeah.
can, if you can
What
scroll
might,
through.
what might be a nice searchable, like sewer density? It's coming, it's just working very slowly.
You wanna, it's down in the, whatever the chapter is that's got the action.
Okay.
It's in chapter 6, it's in the colored sections.
Yes, that's where
Yeah,
it
I'm
is.
looking at it right now, it said.
Could you read it, Brian, cause the internet's very slow here now.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Joyce is finding it. What it says is prioritize sewer installation in areas designated for higher density housing development.
We have it,
Yeah,
Okay, so
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's already in there, Brian?
that's
Yes,
that's
that's
the
what it
language
says
that
right
we're
here.
talking about.
that's-
Say it again,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Brian.
Prioritize sewer installation in areas designated for higher density housing development.
But that's what's being proposed, not what's in our current draft?
That, I'm looking at the current draft.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it's already there.
If it's already
It's-
there, we don't want this.
No, you're not understanding.
Okay.
It is in the draft that Sharon
Right.
gave us, but it's new language that
Got it.
they're
Okay.
asking us to rate,
Include.
Oh, we
basically.
did,
And
to
score.
erase,
And we also
To score, okay.
oh, to score it?
To score it, yeah.
Well, I think it has a high impact.
I do too, I gave it a 4.
A lower feasibility, not because it's a bad idea, just
Yeah,
because
I gave it a 4 in impact and a 2 in feasibility, just because it's
Yeah.
hard to change the wastewater plan.
Yeah.
It's not a simple
Well-
thing to do.
And it's also hard to get people to make the decision about
Yes.
where we want
Housing
stuff
density, yeah.
Correct.
to change the
Yeah.
plan
Well, it
to.
also goes back to how long is this gonna take also?
Okay, and I'm,
What are we not gonna
just to
go?
give you this is the July version, so this is what's on the website, so,
Mhm.
you know, one version back. If you look at density, this is very early, this is like in the executive summary, page 8. It says implementation of the town's comprehensive wastewater management plan may provide for areas where higher density housing can be achieved. So I mean, we're certainly not missing that.
Yeah,
It's just-
No, no, I think this is just a more
This
explicit.
is just an action, whereas that's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After all that discussion, I'm okay with 4 and 2.
And it's actually, well, it's in multiple places,
Okay.
it's highlighted in multiple places, but like
Yeah.
you say, I think they just wanted it as an action, sure.
okay.
Okay,
All right, so good, we're good on that then. Okay, then the next one is in the transportation section, and it's deals with, providing sidewalks and, you know, revised parking and traffic calming, improvements and so forth.
I love your tone of voice here.
Well,
Isn't it good it comes from her, right?
I mean, it's kind of, again, it's just an action to follow through on the general kind of village design things that, you know, the whole plan supports. So, you know, and let me just do a little aside here. Duncan Berry has written quite a lengthy sort of think piece that he shared with me a couple of weeks ago, which I think he's planning to try to spread around town, and it's quite detailed, but the main thrust of it is that, you know, we have an architectural heritage in Harwich, some of which has been obliterated, you know, important buildings torn down and you know, village nodes that used to be, you know, functional that are no longer. And you know, he's made the argument that we ought to be doing really kind of some visioning for specific neighborhoods like Harwich Port or Harwich Center, or even smaller nodes like, you know, where the old post office and Perkins store and the Baptist church are in West Harwich. Now, it was a very interesting read for me, just because there was a lot of Harwich history in there that I didn't know about, you know. But I guess with something like this, it seems to me that when you're thinking about doing those kinds of design things, you need to do that kind of conceptual planning before you decide what specific improvements you want. You want to think about what do we want this area to be
Look like, right?
Yeah, and then when you've got some sort of better idea about that, then you think, okay, well, if we want to slow traffic down here, then, you know, you could put a roundabout there, or you could narrow the road there, or put, you know, on-street parking there, or, you know, there are lots of ways to do it. But it really has to be part of a bigger design process. It's not a standalone thing to do, you know? So I just say that because I think, you know, it's not gonna happen by itself, and it doesn't make sense for it to happen by itself. You need to think more holistically about what do you want
everything
this.
siloed.
Yeah.
You want the
Yeah.
action and
Yeah,
flow.
the transportation stuff should fit into what your vision is for that particular location, you know. And, you know, I said to Duncan after reading this thing that I think it would be great, you know, as sort of a follow-on to the local comprehensive plan, to do some conceptual designs for specific places in town, you know, because I think you can engage people on a level that we really couldn't. You know, we were more at the, 30,000 foot layer, level, and, but when you get right down to, an area in West Harwich along Route 28, then you can really focus on, well, we've got this as an anchor. I just read today that John Kerry, I guess,
Yeah,
has
yeah, the
bought
Baptist
the Baptist
church. Right.
church, so we know that that's going to be restored and used for housing. So,
Not.
Not-
Anyway,
not housing.
housing. We're off the housing thing.
oh, we're off the housing.
Not we, but they, yeah,
Wants
but
to-
not, yeah,
Wants
yeah,
to
yeah.
restore it as a community facility.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, well, whatever it's gonna be used for, but I guess that's my point, is that you have to think about, okay, well, what do we got there as an anchor and what works around
Yeah,
it?
planning,
Right.
yeah, planning, yeah.
Visioning.
So, anyway, that, as I said, that's an aside, but
Sort of doing specific plans.
specific plans,
Yes.
detailed,
Yeah.
design plans, for
Yeah.
specific
Yeah.
places, so.
So transportation has to fit into that,
Yeah.
be it walkable or
Right.
Do you
public
wanna-
transportation or moving
do you
people
wanna
around another way.
encourage- Do you
Yeah.
want to encourage bicycle use,
Right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, anyway, on this one, I said, that the players would be the Cape Cod Commission, the Planning Department, and the DPW for areas that, we're talking about town improvements, for town roads and sidewalks and that kind of thing. And I gave it a 3 for impact, because I think it could have a big impact. Feasibility at 2, because it's very labor intensive to do this kind of planning, but we might be able to get, some assistance from the commission on something like this,
Unless
Yeah.
they think of, because everything that was mentioned, that I'm looking at is on that greater scale, what the LPC does. It's like we can just take one small section, like in West Howard, and let's do a test. Let's do a test model. Let's focus on,
Yeah.
bring the exercise to a smaller version.
Yeah.
To say, here's how the LPC, it guided us to say this, and this. Now we're going to use that in this test model. So that might be able to bring it down as far as the feasibility, to bring that up a little bit if we lower the exercise scale.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
And it ties into the LPC because this is taken directly from the LPC.
yeah, yeah.
So you're higher than 2 on this one.
If they scale down, if you say, okay, it's for the town or for so many
Right.
villages, that's too vast. That's overwhelm. But again, just focusing on where are they busy right now?
Yeah.
West Harwich, right
Yeah.
there, as far as actually doing things to renovate and revive. So let's just do the small little test case as far as
Yeah.
how we can bring transportation in, the bicycle path,
Right.
just a small little scale.
Yep.
So 3 with an asterisk, this says if we start with the test location.
I don't think we have any asterisks.
And it's
Yeah.
interesting.
And I should, all I was doing in describing that to you guys was to say that it's, it ought to be a part of that kind of a process. This specific item really only deals with transportation.
I would say 3 because in trying to figure out how to make it happen, if someone follows along the way Mary suggested, it can become more feasible. And I think that's worth giving it a 3 just for that reason.
Okay,
And
Maybe it
they-
shows that we support it more.
And the interesting thing, because you're talking about transportation, I know with what John Kerry's doing along there, what there's another person that is looking at a piece of property to redevelop. There used to be a state program, a public works economic development grants, and the sort of key thing is you have to have a certain level of private investment
Yeah.
going on in an area to be able to, but you can get fairly substantial funds to do the sort of basic infrastructure work, which is always
yeah,
the expensive part that You can't tell somebody who's building some housing that, well, we got $1.5 million worth of road work we want you to
So,
do.
it seems the
in fact,
failed
this- I'm
East
sorry.
Harwich attempt really did what that's saying. And to a lesser extent, the Harwich Center study from 2001 approximately. I mean, I think we've got
Yeah.
examples
I think
Yeah.
of
we,
attempts that
I,
were
I think
made.
we do too, and I have always thought
Yeah.
that those needed to be revisited, that it was
Mhm.
kind of too bad that they got shelved.
Shelved, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's, I was involved in the Harwich Center one, and we were all set to start on the specific plan, and there was lots of money being put in. We were in contact with these public works grants, and the, our Board of Selectmen just yanked the $5,000 out to complete the planning study, to be able to start applying for stuff, and it just fell apart.
oh well, that's been happening more than once.
That might push it back down to a 2.
So, okay, so if it's 3 and 2,
Yeah,
if it's 3 and 2, then we're under planning and mitigation. If it's 3 and 3, then we're in the near term. I would put this under planning and mitigation
Yeah.
myself, because I really think it's gonna take a while to
So back to a 2.
back to a 2, yeah.
Planning and mitigation sounds right, because again, what I'm thinking of as far as something on a smaller scale is it's going to invite
Okay.
so many of the actions that you were discussing
Yeah.
earlier
Mhm.
about collaboration between the agencies and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, look, we're gonna pull all this in and we're gonna use it in this one small area and look, it does work.
Yep, yep. Okay,
okay.
all right, so then there was, in the energy section, there was an action item about, in improving the energy efficiency, in public buildings. And, for that, I said that the leads would be the energy committee, the select board, and the town manager. And I gave them 2 and 2 on that because, you know, I mean, I think it's a good thing to do, but I don't think it's a real high impact thing to do.
Okay.
So you guys good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then the last one was in the cultural heritage section. And it was recommending that we consider additional historic districts. And Brian, can you find that? Can you?
Oh, yes, I have. It says evaluate creation of additional historic. You got it?
No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I did have it, but it's gone. Go ahead, dictate, and I'll get it up for the visual
Got it.
learners.
Go ahead.
It says
Go ahead.
evaluate creation of additional historic districts or zoning protections for historic resources.
Okay. So, you know, I mean, I said that, you know, the historic commission and the planning department would be the leads on something like that. The impact could be quite substantial if it actually happened, but I think the feasibility is lower. So again, I did a 3 and a 2, and so that puts it in planning and mitigation.
It's interesting, and I don't disagree, it's interesting where that's kind of coming from, but, and then also with this zoning working group, maybe is
Mhm.
it a little more timely?
Mhm.
And I don't quite fully, you know, it's a planning tool to accomplish some of the goals of the plan, but,
Yeah. Well, a historic district can have regulatory impact as well.
right,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's got regulatory impact for Harwich Center right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried to do it in the campgrounds, it failed. I don't know if anyone's tried to do it in West Harwich.
Mhm.
But there is.
They have the
there is
DCPC.
right, the DCPC, right.
but
which
this
is not as,
Right, but I think there are
but the-
there are emerging efforts in West Harwich.
Yeah.
some of the current, I don't know exactly
Urbanos.
where it is now, but yeah. there were.
Sally
Yes.
and Lou.
another
had
thing
worked
though
on
is that
it.
I think they've shown economically that creation of historic districts, DCPs, they're actually economic drivers, so,
Yeah.
But the public opinion
right,
is not.
people don't necessarily see it
Depends.
that way.
It's not a bad word. It's an evaluate word, right? Which we have a lot in there. It's not a
It's-
binding word.
The public opinion is, I don't want a historic district here, because when I repaint my house an ivory white, and you tell me I have to paint it a white, I don't, I mean, that's,
Oh, yeah.
that's how it,
Is
It
interpreted.
can often be.
yeah,
So 3 and 2,
yeah.
there you go, we're done.
But
Good job.
Thank you, Margot, very much. I
Yep.
appreciate
the
it
push
so much. Yeah.
for the campgrounds died because there were so many properties that were
Yeah.
in the process of getting torn down and
And that's a different, when you think about it.
They're gonna finish that, and then they'll go for it.
That is a different demographic
yeah.
than perhaps a year round. I mean, it's an interesting, though, we appreciate it as a historical area, it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah,
You know,
right. Okay, thank you, we did that, that was item C, we did D. We're gonna, being respectful of everyone's time, we are gonna keep meeting just to get this on the warrant, stuff like that. So, we're trying, try to do it efficiently, you guys are all tremendously efficient, so I'll try and get it on the calendar for the new year. Is there anything else when anyone was looking at the plan? I'm kind of at this point now where we live with the art, we know it's all imperfect, but,
Yeah.
uh,
I think it actually looks good,
Yeah.
I kind of thumbed
Yeah.
through it today. and-
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the layout is, for the most part, very readable. And, it's an accessible document.
It is.
Even though it's long.
It is.
But,
The digital version of it is very, you can even see, we use it here, the Control F to find it.
Yeah.
The only thing that I wish they would incorporate are links from the table of contents directly to the section it cites,
Oh.
as opposed to just scrolling down to
Scrolling through
it.
it.
I will ask her that again. I know you've asked it, but we've asked it
Yeah.
again, and maybe in the,
It's interesting that you say that, because when I
links.
was reviewing Duncan's piece, he has all these great photographs that he refers to in the text, but you have to scroll all the way to the end to
That-
actually
that's
look at them.
that's
So
a
have it
pretty
embedded
cheap
where
thing. They should be able to do
Figure
that.
one or
It,
whatever.
yes,
A lot.
I will ask again.
it's just labor intensive, but easy to do.
I don't even know if it's labor intensive in the AI. Okay, and I took a picture of this, but I also have it. I took pictures of it. Anything else that anyone? Hey, Brian.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah, I've sent them pictures for East Harwich months ago, and they never make it in.
They didn't use them.
Same with me.
Yep. They've only got
I'm
room
happy
for
to
so many
resend
pictures.
them, but.
Send him again, pester. What, they're not billing us by the hour. Sure, send it again. Make-
Aaron, is it
make-
still working?
Yeah, send it to Sharon. Sharon's still in the game. I get emails from Sharon. Yep. Pester. Yep. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Any other business that we missed?
So we would meet again
January. So, and I know Brian has already said he wouldn't be able to be here. I would say, presuming the calendar is available to us, our first Tuesday of the month would be January 6th.
6?
Yes, but I will let you know and confirm. Yeah, when I make it to the calendar.
Okay.
Any other business before we adjourn and do the cookie swap? All in favor, get a motion to,
I move we adjourn.
Second.
any discussion? Okay, all in favor, we do have to say.
We have to roll call, yeah.
Yes, Joyce McIntyre is in favor of adjourning.
Mary Jones, yes.
Ed McManus, yes.
David Spitz, yes.
Mark Finn, yes.
Bernadette Waystack, yes.
Barbara Nickerson, yes.
I'd like to review the document one more time.
Right now?
You're outvoted.
Thank you, Brian. I hope you feel better, man. So we're adjourned.
Well, thank you for not coming in.
Yes, thank you for not making
Merry
us sick.
Christmas.
Take care.
I'm just going through Thanksgiving,
I know.
let alone Christmas, so I hear you.
All right, wow, does anyone need to get
All right,
Tupperware?
all right, so I'm gonna again, for those of you, I bought these because my husband is a diabetic, and I'm not going to bake cookies in the house.
Oh,
because-
that's very kind of you. Is it okay if we send some home with you and you
No,
fit
no,
them
I
in
don't
your
want
car?
to, I don't want to
Oh,
have
you don't want any in your
house.
car? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Not for me, enough for. Thank
You're
you.
very kind, Margaret, to participate.
You have to do all of your
Does
eating here
anyone-
then.
Oh, look at those, those are beautiful. Does anyone need
I'm
Tupperware too?
I'm very impressed.
Well, I
with
figured I was
everybody's
taking it
baking
back
skills.
in.
I know, but you have to like have something to put it in.
I can lay.
I was gonna
lay it down
suggest
on this and then put it
these
back.
boxes have 2 items in there, and there's a duplicate. David and I were on the same path
So you
here.
have to have one of each to see which is
Well,
better,
I
right?
have 2 things. I have the lemon bars, and I also have a couple pieces of Jewish apple cake. It has been my family's Christmas tradition for generations. My granddaughter, got it from my mother, and my granddaughter is doing it now.
Oh,
That's
that's
So
awesome.
if you wanted to ditch some of the lemon bars and take David, you're
Oh,
welcome
or you can
to.
have I have the
you know.
dollar store Tupperware too, or the job lot Tupperware that
I did
everyone's
the dollar
welcome
store
to.
box.
Yeah, everyone's welcome to
These
stock
look
up.
wonderful.
And I have-
Yes,
I
that's
have-
rosemary.
I have the,
Oh, I've been anxious to taste that.
I have the purely dietetic
Kill you slowly.
chocolate nuts,
Those are just plain sinful. There you go.
chocolate
slowly,
nuts,
Mars.
coconut, brown sugar, butter.
Kill you slowly, Mars. Yeah, no, please take the dollar store Tupperware as needed.
I have tried,
So.
I have tried both these kinds of cookies here, guys, and they really are good. So, just saying.
Thank you, Margaret.
Peanut butter and chocolate.
What a deal.
Francis was very excited about this. He's like,